Hello, 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 and welcome to Real Conversations. I hope all is well. I pray all is well. And if it is not, trust and believe that it can and it will get better. So today, I'm stopping in with this message regarding hateful hearts. And this is a touchy subject because, I've said this several times. If you're a loving person, if you have a heart for people, if you want to see the best in people and for people, it can be a hurtful thing. Because no matter how good of a person you are, there's so many people out here who are not good people and who do not have good hearts. And because of that, they secretly hate you. And they secretly have animosity towards you because you just are simply you. And you have a good heart. You're not perfect, but deep down you have a good heart. And they secretly hate you because they know that they can never be you. They can't feel what you feel. They don't know what it's like to have love, empathy, compassion, understanding, forgiveness in their hearts. And, my mother would always say to me, you could see a person's face, but you can't see their heart. And that is so true. Because whatever is on a man's heart is what he will say and what he will do. It's in the Bible. And whatever is in a man's heart, and I'm saying man just in those terms, that could be a woman as well. Whatever is in that person's heart, this is the energy that they will walk with. This is the energy that they carry. It's a very deceitful type of energy because they'll smile in your face and stab you in the back at the same time. A hateful heart. And what these people don't realize is that by doing this, in the process of them having a hateful heart, they will damage people and hurt people along the way without remorse because they don't care, because they are operating from that hateful space. And they may not even realize it at the time, but they know exactly what they're doing. They're intentional about hurting people. They're intentional about just hating people because they don't love themselves. If you love yourself, you wouldn't treat people a certain kind of way because you know that what you give off is what you get back. And hateful hearts, people with hateful hearts, they miss that concept. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but there will come a time when that person will realize and wake up like, damn. And they may know that they have a problem, but they won't reveal that to the world. They would have that internal struggle within themselves because they know that they're secretly hateful and vindictive and spiteful and very revengeful. And they don't care who they hurt. They don't care about anyone's feelings, emotions, or anything like that because they're hateful people. They have hate in their heart. They have hate running through their veins, running through their body. This is who they are. And that's hard for people with good hearts. That's hard for people with loving hearts because here you are trying to love people regardless of how flawed they are and how, whatever it is that they got going, you try to love them through that. And because they operate from that hateful space and they have hate in their heart and they're very hateful people, they can't see that. And this is why you see a lot of people, when they get to a certain point in their age, they're very angry. They're miserable. They can't function because they realize that nobody wants to be around them. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants to help them. Nobody wants to be there for them in their time of need, whatever it is. You know, misery is a terrible thing, and it can eat away at your soul. And this is why you see so many people go crazy. And they have, mental disorders and things like that. But that's because they have lived a life of hate. Live a life of hate. And they drive people away from them. It's sad to see people, especially when they get to that state that you can really see that their mental is just falling apart. Because they never took the time to stop and think about how their hate and their evil and wicked ways have turned literally everyone against them. Because after a certain amount of time, people just don't want to be in that negative energy. They don't want to be in that space. They don't want to deal with that. And it's just a sad, unfortunate state, when people get to that point where they are just lonely and miserable. And like I said, I've always worked in the healthcare field, and it would drive me. I would always question, why is there so many old people in the hospital, just in the bed, just sitting there, and they don't have no visitors. No one comes to see them. They just look so sad and they're miserable, and they just very angry and bitter. Yes, some of them have Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that, but a lot of them, you could tell, they're just mean-spirited. And that's the main reason. All their life, they just were very hateful that their own kids have turned their backs on them. That's sad. I love my kids with everything. I'm so connected with my kids. I can't, see it. I just don't even understand it. And I get that people, they go through things in their lives that make them who they are, and they deal, they had certain traumas and things like that. But why not try to go and fix it? To try to heal, to be better, to feel better. It's such a heavy burden to walk around with a hateful heart. And this is why when people do things to you, no matter how painful it is, you have to let it go. Find your inner peace and let it go, because it will eat away at you if you don't let it go. Learn to forgive people with hateful hearts, because their lives are really sad and pathetic. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just that some people live a lifetime and never really understand what love is. How to feel love and to give love and to be love. To embrace love. And so for me, that's very sad and pathetic. Because you have the ability and the power to change that. But when you don't want to do the work, the inner work, to heal and to become better and to do better, this is where you end up. And so many people, and as you're seeing it more and more and more, so many people are heading down this road where they're just empty inside, a void inside. They're just very angry at life and people and things, and they just feel like they're entitled when all they have to do is just do the work. They have to just do the internal work to want better, to want to live a better life, a more peaceful life, a more loving life, and not claim the victim role and not sit in that negative, toxic space. It's not easy, but it can be done if you're willing to do the work. And I say that's with anything. If you're willing to do the work, it'll come. But it's an everyday work in progress. You have to ask yourself, why do I hate? Why is it so easy for me to hate? Why I can't even love myself enough to want to be better? You really have to sit and get to a space and a place where you have to start asking yourself these tough questions. And if you can't figure it out on your own, go and get help. Help is available. The internet has a wealth of information. It has resources. It has support groups. You can find everything that you need literally on the internet. So there's no excuse. There's no reason why we have so many unhealthy people. And when I say unhealthy, their mindset is unhealthy. Their hearts is unhealthy. Their spirit is unhealthy. It's so easy just to walk around and hate people. But it's such a beautiful thing when you can walk around and love people. Like I said, I don't have any enemies. I don't hate anyone. People who have wronged me, I move out the way accordingly and I wish them well. I wish them well. And I hope and I pray that one day, they could fall on their knees and just pray to God and just ask for forgiveness and do right by the people that will come into their lives moving forward. Do I want these people back in my life? No, not at all. Because some things, like I said, you just can't come back from. But if you know better, do better so we can all be better. So with that being said, have a blessed day. Please don't let nobody change your heart. Don't walk around with a hateful heart. Love is beautiful.